Part 48. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 471. Chapter 471, Take him back to the tribe. 2 more requests for customization. After listening to the blonde girl's explanation, Subai fell into thinking. Couldn't this raft maker be used? He raised his head and asked, "Do you often sit on a raft and go fishing at the beach?" "Yes, but those wooden rafts are often not durable and fall apart easily. We also have to choose when the weather is good before we dare to go out," Coco explained. "So how often do you replace your rafts?" "What does the raft look like?" Subai asked. "They had to be replaced every time they came back from the sea, just in case. This was not the case before, and many people died at sea." Coco recalled the appearance of the raft and continued, "The raft is just a lot of wood put together, and there is a tall wooden stick in the middle with animal skins on it." "Why is there a tall stick in the middle of the raft? And why hang up the hides?" Yanhua asked curiously. "This piece of animal skin allows the raft to move forward easily based on the power of the wind," Subai explained simply. "Yes, Wu was right. This would save the time of paddling with a wooden board," Coco nodded repeatedly. The blonde girl didn't expect that the witch actually understood this. This should only be understood by people from the seaside tribe. Her worship of the witch suddenly deepened. "Didn't you see anyone else besides him?" Subai asked. "No, we looked for a long time and found only ridges." Coco shook his head. Subai nodded thoughtfully and said, "Rescue him tonight. The Yanlong tribe needs him. He has already planned. After rescuing this man, he will give him the task of building a boat when he returns to the tribe. Although the other party can only build some wooden rafts, they are similar to boats. They are also launched into the water and used. Made of wood. As long as you give the other party a design drawing and let him study it slowly, he can always figure it out." Coco wondered if she heard wrongly and asked, "Which, are you telling the truth?" She was surprised at 2 points. One was that the Yanlong tribe needed Long, and the other was that he needed to be rescued. "Well, let's go tonight without further ado, and then we'll go back to the Wild Dragon tribe tomorrow," Subai said seriously. "If you want to deal with the sea insect tribe, you need someone who understands them, and Long is undoubtedly the best candidate. He has been in the sea insect tribe for such a long time, and he can also create mupai. These 2 reasons are enough for him to come to Yanlong tribe." "Yes," Coco said seriously. "Just stay here and let Shifeng and Ai go. It's more convenient for them not to take you with them," Subai said. "It would be a bit troublesome if you want to take the blonde girl with you. In addition to hiding, you also have to protect her safety at all times." "Yes, you wait here for us to come back. I have seen what he looks like, so I will save him," Ai said seriously. "You must pay attention to safety," Keek said. Ai nodded and set off with weapons, Shifeng and Chinchi. Puchi, Puchi. The 3 of them continued flying towards the coastline with their weapons. It was already late now. On Earth, it would be about 8 o'clock in the evening. After flying for more than an hour, the 3 of them began to reach the sky above the sea fish tribe. "Only you know what he looks like, so the binoculars are for you," Shifeng said. "Brother Shifeng, wait a minute, can you go down and bring him up?" Chinchi asked. The reason why the Boyuyan asked this was because he also wanted to go down and take him with him. "Well, it would be prudent for me to go down," Shufeng nodded. It wouldn't matter if it was normal training, but this time it was to save people, so he had to take action himself. "Okay, then let me help Brother Shifeng keep an eye on the others," Chinchi said immediately. Ai kept looking down with the telescope, trying to find that person again. After more than half an hour, Butterfly Girl finally saw a familiar figure, and immediately asked the other 2 people to look over. "It's him." Shufeng also looked at that person, flapped his brown wings and swooped down. "Puchi, Puchi." This time it was to save people directly, so there was no need to hide, just go down and pull him up. Shifeng flew very fast, swooping down from high altitude in the blink of an eye, as fast as an arrow leaving the string. When he was about to reach the ground, he opened his pair of large wings very wide, preparing to cushion it and slow down his speed. The moment he got close to the ground, Shifeng stretched out his hands and grabbed Leng's hand and flew upwards. All this happened in a flash of lightning, and it was obvious that the latter had not yet reacted. Just when he was about to say something, he choked back on one sentence. If you want to live, just shut up, Coco is still alive. Shifeng's words were simple and clear. Lang looked up at the other person. Since it was night, only a little moonlight shone on the other person's face. He looked very confused and couldn't see clearly, and found that he had a pair of big brown wings. But I have the impression that there is no such person in the tribe, and it is impossible for Coco to know this person. Why would he say such things? Because Shifeng flew down to save people at a very precise time, there was almost no one around. And the speed is also very fast, there is no time for others to react. Great, let's go back quickly, Air said happily. This time it went smoothly. Brother Shifeng, let me catch it, Chinchi immediately volunteered. Boyuyan still wanted to help, not to mention it's not difficult to just catch someone. It's okay, let's go back quickly, it's getting late. The tree fan flapped its wings and flew forward. Good Chinchi was looking forward to it, but he was suddenly discouraged. Puchi, Puchi. Under the moonlight, the three of them began to fly back to the station along the coastline of the sea. More than an hour later, the three of them returned to Subai and put him down. It was obvious that the latter was confused and didn't know what was going on. He just stood there blankly. He has long blonde hair, down to his back, and a blonde beard on his face. He is about 30 years old. He looks a lot like the It guy from the other side of the world, except his hair is longer. Long, it's me. Coco walked up. It's really you. It would be great if you're okay. I thought, Long suddenly became filled with sadness and continued, almost all the people in the tribe are gone. Coco also expected it, and her face was equally sad, and said I guessed it. Second update, please support and customize. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 472. Chapter 472, You are too shameless. 3 more please customize. Hoo hoo. 3 hot air balloons were flying rapidly in the sky. It was already broad daylight. Subai and others set off to fly back to the Yanlong tribe, but there were no people in the baskets of the 3 hot air balloons. Most of those people were arranged to see the salt sun. Those people will be the first to dry the salt in the future, but he taught others to dry the salt, so it doesn't matter if there are more people. Besides, the reason why these 3 baskets were empty was to go to the river to pick up Lucy and her tribe. It's really amazing. Long looked at everything below in shock. It was really incredible. When he first saw the hot air balloon, his first thought was, could this thing fly into the sky? He didn't go to bed very late last night. Because he learned that Coco was still alive and that he had to go to a new tribe, he was very nervous. In addition to being excited, he also started to wonder what kind of tribe the Yanlong tribe would be. But I am also glad that I finally left the rule of the sea insect tribe. I was originally a raft maker, but in the end I was treated like a slave by the sea insect tribe, and all my talents were buried. The most important thing is that every day I can't even eat enough, and the work is very hard. I might as well make wooden chops every day. This was made by a witch, it's really magical, right? Coco smiled and looked at the scenery in the distance. It's really amazing. What kind of craftsman is the witch? So smart, Long asked curiously. Ha 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 ha, witches used to come from large tribes, but because, Coco told Long what he heard from the fox-eared lady. When the blonde girl heard this statement, she was convinced that it must be like this. Are witches from large tribes? Are these things from the big tribes? Long asked. Coco shook his head and said, Wu said this thing doesn't exist anywhere else, only our Yanlong tribe has it. Long nodded thoughtfully, thought for a while and asked Keek, why did you want to join the Yanlong tribe? When he heard last night that the blonde girl was already from the Yanlong tribe, he was completely shocked. He even wondered several times if he had heard wrongly. How could the people from the Haiu tribe become people from other tribes? Because I couldn't remember anything at the time, plus at the time, there were so many magical things in the Yanlong tribe at that time, and I really wanted to know about them. Coco didn't care about the wind ruffling her bangs, and continued, but people who are not from the mute flame dragon tribe have no right to know, so I just. But you are the daughter of the tribal chief, how can you abandon the Haiu tribe? Long said in confusion. He thought that anyone can join other tribes, but the children of chiefs or witches cannot. Because they are the ones who want to inherit the tribe, and they cannot give up the tribe casually. If even they can, if you give up, others will give up even more. In this case, the tribe will really be gone. This was also the first thought in Long's mind after listening to it last night, but because there were many people at the time, it was difficult for him to say it. So that he didn't sleep well all night. Although he had eaten and drank enough, he kept tossing and turning. I know, but I couldn't help it at the time, and I said you don't even remember. Coco blinked her golden eyes and continued, but even if I insist, the tribe will be invaded. Our tribe? Lung felt a little sad all of a sudden. Because the woman he loved and the tribe he had lived with for so long were gone, his heart collapsed several times. But he has always had a will in his heart, that is, the sea fish tribe will definitely come back, so he did not completely collapse. Don't worry, our tribe will be back, Keek said seriously. She believed Sudbai's words very much. Are the witches of the Yanlong tribe really powerful? Can you really help us get the sea fish tribe back? Long asked. He didn't know much about Sudbai. The only thing he knew was that he was young and handsome, that's all. Of course, Wu Kei is very powerful. He manages the tribe very well and everyone respects him. Coco nodded without hesitation and continued, you don't know how powerful Wu was when he led the tribe to take back their ancestral land. She heard all this from the horn girl and the others, and she was very shocked when she heard it. Does she think Wu is too powerful? And they listened very seriously, not missing a word. So now she clearly remembers what the horned lady said, and she didn't miss a word when she explained it. The blonde girl never expected that such a young and handsome witch could be so powerful and be able to lead a few people to defeat many people. And the most important thing is that the plan is also very meticulous. This is not something ordinary people can think of. Is it so powerful? So few people against so many people? Did you win in the end? This is incredible. Long Ye listened with great interest. He suddenly turned around and looked in the direction of Sudbai, and found that the other person's figure had become more majestic. I thought he was still questioning how such a young person could lead a good tribe. He even spoke so brazenly. He said that he wanted to take back the sea fish tribe. He wanted to show off in front of girls but couldn't do it. Isn't this really unlikable? But after hearing the words of the blonde girl, he suddenly felt full of confidence. I think this is very possible. There are more powerful things. The witch can also make the beasts obedient and even make the beasts work for the tribe, Coco continued. The blonde girl had a look of admiration on her face when she spoke, and the more she spoke, the happier she became. Make the beast behave? Is this witchcraft? But I never said there was such witchcraft, Long said in surprise. I don't know me either, and there are other powerful witches, Coco continued to talk happily. Every time she talks about Sudbai, the blonde girl is like this and talks endlessly. Looking at the blonde girl's appearance, Long asked Keek, do you like witches? Coco was suddenly stunned, not expecting to be asked like this, and said awkwardly, "How is that possible? Don't talk nonsense." The blonde girl's face immediately turned red, and she lowered her head and looked unnaturally under the hot air balloon. "Ha ha ha ha, what's the point? If you like it, you just like it," Long said with a smile. "I told you to stop talking nonsense, otherwise I will be angry," Keek said angrily on purpose, but in fact the expression on her face betrayed her. "Okay, okay, I won't say." Long waved his hands and said. Third update, please support and customize. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 473. Chapter 473, we marked it. 4 more, please customize. Swish swish. Tap tap tap. Gurgling. There was a group of people moving forward quickly in the forest. Their bodies kept touching the surrounding trees, and then they made rustling sounds. The sound of their rapid advance was in stark contrast to the cries of wild beasts in the forest. "Hurry up and move forward," Kai has been leading the way. Yes, this group of people in the forest are the people from the Big Chest tribe. They brought a lot of dried meat and started to set off. There are more than 60 people in this group, half of them they are totem warriors and half are reserve warriors. The chief of the giant bear tribe has agreed to the request of the Yanlong tribe, so he took out the sweet particles and dried meat to trade with the Yanlong tribe. This group of people is approaching the Yanlong tribe. Yes, these people have already set out for the second day. Really in front? It feels like there is no road ahead, Zhang asked doubtfully. He is an intermediate totem warrior of the giant bear tribe, a bear orc, about 1.9 meters tall, and very strong. He wears a dark brown bear skin on his lower body, and around his neck there are a lot of animal tooth necklaces hanging, 7 or 8 in total. The expression on his face looks very serious, his thick eyebrows are tightly pressed against his eyes, and his Chinese-shaped face with short brown hair is particularly fierce. He also wears it on his hand. I wore a lot of animal tooth chains, and they kept making crisp sounds when I walked. It's the front, we marked it so we remember, Kai said firmly. When they came back from the Yanlong tribe, they were marking all the way. They were afraid that they would not be able to find the way back. Or maybe they would get lost in the forest and not be able to get out. Yes, after all, the forest is so big, and getting lost happens from time to time. How much longer do we have to go? It's getting dark. Gio looked up at the sky and asked. It will take about 2 more days, maybe a day and a half if you move forward quickly, Li said lightly. She also followed out, mainly to lead the way to the Yanlong tribe. Since returning to the giant bear tribe, she has been thinking about the Yanlong tribe, both in terms of environment and food. Same. If it's fast, a day and a half? Frame raised his eyebrows slightly, nodded thoughtfully, and continued, then let's move forward quickly and make sure the time is shortened to 1.5 days. He doesn't want to spend too much time on the road. He shortens the time if he can so that he can use it to do important things. Good. Li nodded and said. Tap tap tap. The more than 60 people in the forest have been moving quickly, much faster than the usual slow progress. Although the road in the forest is rugged and full of mud and rocks, it is impossible to walk well. But these 60 people were not moving at a slow pace, and no one dared to waste time or delay. More than 4 hours later, the sky began to slowly darken, and darkness enveloped the entire forest. Caligula. Harry chirp. The sounds of various animals in the forest are endless, and some are even very loud. From time to time, there are screams of wild beasts and the sound of wild beasts running, making the whole forest full of strange and dangerous atmosphere. Let's stop and rest first, and then continue on our way early tomorrow morning. Zhang raised his hand and ordered. Yes, others from the giant bear tribe responded immediately. Rustling. More than 60 people took off their animal skin bags one after another, some set up tents, some gathered firewood, and some went hunting. Everyone was dividing their work. Seeing this scene, Lugo couldn't help but feel more at ease. Otherwise, it would have been too hard to be frightened every day like before. This time, the totem warriors of the tribe are here, and they will protect everyone, so they will inevitably feel at ease. I'm sure I'll be full tonight. Lugo began to touch his swollen belly expectantly. Just think about eating every day and think more about how to tell the people of the Yanlong tribe. Lan rolled her eyes and said. What's the matter? Uncle Frame is here, so we don't have to worry about any of this. We just need to lead the way. Lugo waved his hand and said. All four of them followed out, all to lead the way, otherwise problems would easily arise if just one or two people alone. If there are 4 people, it will be guaranteed. Only after the 4 people's opinions are unified can we proceed. Move forward so it's less likely to make mistakes. You, I don't want to talk about you anymore. Lan doesn't want to bring trouble to herself. She does this every time she chats with him. I wonder what happened there after we left the Yanlong tribe for so long? Lugo looked up at the sky and said. The little fat man missed the food of the Yanlong tribe a little bit. It was the rainy season and he didn't eat a variety of food. So he was wondering if the Yanlong tribe would have different food when it was not the rainy season? It would be great if there was one. Although they stayed in the Yanlong tribe for a few days when the rainy season stopped, the food was not different. All I care about is how much porcelain we can bring back with the things we take out. That's the most important thing. Lan doesn't care what has become of the Yanlong tribe. She is looking forward to those porcelains, and even wonders if she can have one? That's none of our business. Those porcelain won't be ours anyway. Lugo continued to wave his hands. Who can say for sure? What if we really have one? Lan said. Lizard Girl still held on to hope. People should have some thoughts, otherwise would they just live every day? I only care about food. Anyway, the food of Yanlong tribe is the best. Lugo started to drool a little bit. Too lazy to pay attention to you. Lan rolled her eyes. 4th update, please support and customize. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 474. Chapter 474, Luz's Worries. One more request for customization. The hot air balloon followed its original trajectory and flew back to the place where it met Luzi and the others. At this time, Luzi Hebian had been waiting for a long time, and at the same time, her tribesmen were also there. Aoki and Akito were also very safe. Chinchi flew back last night because there were no problems until the finish line. I didn't expect it to actually come, Luzi said in surprise. Originally, the girl had no hope, but she had only sworn a lot to her clan members. If the other party could not show up, she would still be a little disappointed. Originally, her clan members did not want to leave. After all, it was not easy to find and settle down. Place. Although it is just an open space, many tents were set up there and they lived peacefully for a long time. Although some people in the tribe died from time to time, and most of them were eaten by wild beasts, but it was all a small part. Now they were suddenly asked to leave there and start venturing to the river, or even live in a new tribe. They were inevitably unwilling, and even said many words to the girl, but in the end they still compromised. That's all. I have already said that our witches will never lie, Aoki said immediately. He could be said to be tired of saying this. He said this to the girl's tribe every day. When he heard the girl's tribe questioning Subai, Aoki was always the one who was very irritable. He will not allow the witches of his tribe to be questioned. The witch is obviously such a good person, and the witch still wants to help you, but not only are you not grateful, you are still questioning it. This is what makes Aoki the most angry, so as soon as he hears doubtful voices, he will immediately reply. The witch will not leave us two alone, Kitu also echoed. Like Aoki, he has been working hard to protect Subai. The two of them formed a sharp contrast with the girl's tribe. On one side, there were all kinds of doubts and suspicions, and they were even unwilling to curse. While the other side has been talking about Sudbai's benefits and how good the Yanlong tribe is. The two sides seem to be very incompatible. In addition to their different views, the most important thing is that their skin colors are also different. The balloon slowly landed in the open space by the river, and Sudbai stepped down. He glanced at the more than 100 people behind Luzi and said, "Are all your people here?" "It's all here. I hope the witch didn't lie to us." "It took me a long time to convince you," Luzi said seriously. Since she has eaten enough in the past 2 days, the girl's complexion has improved a little. She also has a little more confidence in speaking and standing, and she does not look as beautiful as she did at the beginning. "You will know when you get to the Yanlong tribe," Sudbai said seriously. "Instead of saying too much now, it would be useless. It would be better to wait until the tribe comes and let them take a look." "Will we be bullied when we go to your tribe?" Luzi asked seriously. In fact, this question was raised by the oldest person among her tribe, because he saw the skin colors of Aoki and Akatsuki. He felt that this tribe was not simple, and even the skin colors were different. "You may not be bullied. People are like this, and they often reject things that are different from themselves. Even they are the same. Although they think the other person's skin color is beautiful, they never dislike themselves. I just feel that way." "Of course not, people in our tribe don't do this," Sudbai said seriously. "Woo, let's go then," Luzi nodded. He didn't want to say too much at the moment. He just wanted to wait and see. Hoo hoo. Everyone on the river bank began to land on the hot air balloon. After that, the hot air balloon began to slowly rise into the sky. The hot air balloon kept flying in the direction of the Yanlong tribe. Those who had never done a hot air balloon were shocked. They were all discussing one sentence after another. "Oh my God, what the hell is this thing? Will we fall? Is this thing reliable? Is it witchcraft?" But to make these three big things fly, it takes a lot of witchcraft, right? "I don't think it's witchcraft, it's probably the flame on top. It looks really weird." All the people on the hot air balloon were very curious, and their faces were full of shock. Even if they looked better and better, they did not dare to show this expression casually. "Because I am afraid that people from the Yanlong tribe will find out and then know what their weaknesses are." "Woo, how long will it take for us to reach your tribe?" Luzi asked curiously. The girl had just finished being surprised, so she immediately calmed down the look of shock on her face, and then wanted to ask how far the next journey would be. "If we go on at this rate, we'll be there probably tomorrow," Sudbai said softly. "What can we do after we go to your tribe?" "My people have nothing but strength," Luzi said worriedly. The girl was worried that her people would not be able to find suitable jobs after going to the Yanlong tribe, and then they would start to starve. "Don't worry, there are many jobs in our tribe that require strong people," Sudbai comforted. He could see the worry on the girl's face. She was obviously worried about the people in the tribe. "Really? What are the jobs that require a lot of strength?" Luzi asked curiously. "Building houses, paving roads, or moving stones all require strong people," Sudbai said. "Build a house? Why build a house? Don't your tribe have a house to live in?" Luzi said puzzledly. "Of course we already have houses, we just need to build better ones," Sudbai said softly. "Some of them are girls. Do girls also need to build houses?" Luzi asked. "Because there are dozens of women among these hundreds of people, and these people are not very strong. It doesn't matter, there are jobs suitable for them. Don't worry, there will be jobs as long as you go there," Sudbai said seriously. Luzi couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief and said, "Then I will ask them to work harder, and then the witch will share more meat?" Because there are children too. Don't worry, I will share the children's meat directly with them, but as a price, they need to learn, Subai said. Study. Luza blinked her purple eyes in confusion and continued to ask Wu, I'm not very strong, but I know what your tribe can do. The girl finally no longer has to worry about her tribe members, but now she has to worry about herself. What can you do? Subai asked. Please update for support and customization. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 475. Chapter 475, Ridiculous Story. 2 more requests for customization. The dark night fell silently in a dense forest. Because the branches and leaves were so lush, the moonlight could not penetrate through the leaves. Even so, it did not become dark under the branches because there were many more bonfires and some fireflies flying around. These fireflies are not just a handful of 7 or 8 as usual, but are densely packed like a group of flying elves. The orange-red firelight and the silvery green light emitted by these fireflies complement each other perfectly in this quiet forest. All these fireflies were flying around a huge tree, and many bonfires were lit around this huge tree. The reason why there are many bonfires around the trees is because the big trees are surrounded by wooden houses. Yes, this is a tribe, a huge tribe. This tribe mainly started to form around a big tree that reaches the sky. Although it was 10 o'clock at night, many people in this tribe began to work. Because this was the time when they were preparing to go out hunting, and many novel beasts appeared near this tribe at night. And these novel beasts taste very good, often attracting people from these tribes to go hunting at night. Although the forest is very dangerous at night, the delicious food makes the tribal warriors have no time to care about the dangers. And these novel beasts are very easy to catch, so they often go out in groups to hunt such beasts at night. Crackling. Gilagila. The sound of wood burning in the campfire and the screams of wild beasts in the forest are endless. The soldiers were all dressed up, holding weapons and ready to go. The reeds they wore were all black. And the animal tooth necklace he was wearing was very strange, it was different from the Yanlong tribe or the spotted deer tribe. Those warriors looked very strange. Each warrior's hair was grown very long and tied into a high ponytail. Their teeth are all black, the animal tooth necklaces hanging on their bodies are also black, and a layer of black paint is also smeared under the warrior's eyes. In short, the overall look gives people the impression of being a mess, and it looks very strange. He doesn't look like a warrior from an ordinary tribe, but rather looks like a wizard. Ho ho ho. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Those dark warriors kept making strange roars. This scene was a ritual for going out for hunting. After shouting out these strange sounds, the soldiers began to go hunting. Tap tap tap. Just as these warriors were strolling away from the tribe, a man who was not very tall began to walk into the tribe. His dress is not much different from those of the black warriors. They are all the same, they all have high ponytails, wearing black animal skins, and the upper body without animal skins is also smeared with a lot of black stuff. Looking very panicked, he climbed over the wooden houses under the big trees and climbed straight towards the big trees. Every movement was very clean and neat, without any delay. In less than 10 minutes, he started running to the middle of the tree. There are also many wooden houses in the middle of this big tree, about 40 in number. Each wooden house is built on the thick branches extending from this big tree. Because this big tree is very huge and has many branches extending out, so many wooden houses can be built on it. The man who had just entered the tribe walked straight towards the largest wooden house in the tree. None of the soldiers patrolling or standing guard stopped him. Crunch. With the consent of the owner of the wooden house, he opened the door and walked in. The soldiers standing guard at the door of the wooden house looked at the scene expressionlessly, as if it happened often. There were many furnishings in the wooden house, and strange things were hung everywhere. beast heads, animal skins, and even some strange beast corpses, etc. And it also emits a lot of strange smells, not only the smell of blood, but even some strange plant smells. In short, this wooden house feels very weird. There were strange things everywhere. After the man entered the wooden house, he immediately put his left hand on his right shoulder and said respectfully, "Which, I'm back." The person who walked into the tribe is Sharp Yat. He is the intelligence agent of the Dark Scorpion tribe. Every task he does is to collect intelligence for the tribe, or to disseminate intelligence, and he just came back because he went to collect intelligence. "Well, how's the news going?" a voice came from the darkness. The voice was deep and old. The owner of this voice was the shaman of the Dark Scorpion tribe, named Shen Xiao. He was about 60 years old. Most of his long hair was white. The long hair is also tied up high. Although he is not young anymore, the facial features on his face still look very strong. The angular jawline and the towering nose bridge say everything, especially a pair of bright and sharp eyes. Purple eyes. Black Snake, all the people in the Black Snake tribe are gone, Li Ya said clearly in a difficult position. All the people in the Black Snake tribe are gone. What happened? Shen Xiao asked with a frown. I don't know. As usual, I didn't receive any news in the past few days, so I went to the meeting point and waited for 2 or 3 days, but there was still no news. Li Ya swallowed his saliva and continued, I sent someone to find out the news. On the way, I met people from the Black Snake tribe. They said. Explain. Shen Xiao said seriously. It is said that people from the Black Snake tribe was solved by another tribe, Li Ya said. Shen Xiao's purple eyes widened slightly, and his steady voice sounded again, asking which tribe? So a large tribe was solved just because it was said to be solved. It seems that there are not many people in the Yanlong tribe, only 100 or 200 people, and they have eliminated all the Black Snake tribe, Li Ya said. Sharp teeth, there must be a limit to making up stories, you know my temper, Shen Xiao said with a dark face. Woo, everything I said is true. This news was told to me personally by people from the Black Snake tribe, Li Ya said firmly. Although he himself thought it was ridiculous and even impossible when he heard the news at first. But seeing the conclusive look of the other party's words, and the fact that the other party said it, he was very frightened. By the way you look, you know it's definitely not a lie. Then tell me, how did they wipe out all the Black Snake tribe with only 100 or 200 people? Shen Xiao sat up straight and asked. Second update, please support and customize. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 476. Chapter 476, Kill them all. 3 more please customize. Laya shook his head and said awkwardly, I don't know this either, but it's true. He was still very sure that this was true, otherwise such a big Black Snake tribe would say no more. Isn't this too strange? And the reason that there is no reason is still such an impossible reason, so it is even more believable. After all, you can give any reason, so why do those people always say this one? Doesn't that mean it's true? What kind of tribe is the Yanlong tribe? Are those 200 people all high-level totem warriors? Or are they all intermediate totem warriors? Shen Xiao asked with a frown. Now that he heard what the other party said was so conclusive, he really wanted to know where the Yanlong tribe came from, and what level those 200 people were at. If we say they are all intermediate level or high-level totem warriors, after all, the strength is there, a mid-level warrior is enough to resist 3 or 4 junior warriors, and high-level totem warriors are even more powerful. This is the first time I have heard of the Yanlong tribe. As for whether they are intermediate totem warriors or advanced totem warriors, Li Ye recalled those conversations and continued, "This is not very clear. Those people also made it unclear. They seem to win with strange weapons." Strange weapons? What kind of weapons are they? Besides spears and bone knives, what other weapons are there? Is it some witchcraft? Shen Shao asked. Wu, I don't know this either, that's what those people said, and they don't know what kind of weapon it is. Li Ya shook his head and said. Shen Shao's face was as dark as anything, and the veins on his forehead were obviously bulging. He asked, "You don't know anything, so how did you become an intelligence agent? Are you all messing around?" At this moment, he was very angry after hearing this. A medium-sized tribe under his command was solved by more than 200 people. The strength of these 200 people was not clear, and the weapons they used were even less clear. It's clear, so what's the difference between this and having no information? Wu, don't be angry, I have another piece of information, Li Ya said immediately. Sweat began to form on his forehead. It was obvious that he was already a little scared. Wu's few words alone made him very scared. "If you fart, just do it all at once, don't challenge my bottom line." The expression on Shen Shao's face became even more ugly. The news he received originally was all bad, but now he is even more unhappy when he sees the other party acting coquettishly. "Wu, I heard that the Yanlong tribe was the original tribe in the area occupied by the Black Snake tribe," Li Ya said. "In other words, the original tribe took revenge and took the place back." Shen Shao closed his eyes and thought. If this is said, the tribe that will be occupied by the Black Snake tribe must be very weak. And according to the intelligence, the Black Snake tribe did not have much time to move to a new place. Why did the original tribe? They didn't have the strength to resist at the beginning, but then they had the strength to take back their own place after being defeated. This is very strange no matter how you look at it. Either this information is false, or the original tribe got help from other tribes. "Wu, did you think of anything?" asked Li Ya. "You go help me investigate this Yanlong tribe. I want to know what kind of strength this tribe has. It can actually kill the Black Snake tribe that I have cultivated for so long." Shen Shao ordered angrily. "The Dark Scorpion tribe he belongs to is a big tribe. As for how big it is, there are more than 8,000 people in the entire tribe. They have plenty of weapons, food, and warriors. There are no other tribes within dozens of miles from the center of this tribe. Even if there are, those tribes all obey the orders of the Dark Scorpion tribe and all work for him. No one wants to offend this tribe. Several tribes disobeyed and were restrained. In just one night, all those tribes were wiped out, not even a single person was left alive. Slowly, this tribe became more and more famous, and many tribes were afraid of him. I don't want to associate with him just because I don't want to get into any more trouble. But the most powerful thing about this tribe is not this, the most powerful thing is that it has cultivated many tribes. Although those tribes are not near the Dark Scorpion tribe, or even farther away, but they all listen to the words of the Dark Scorpion tribe. Because most of the reason why these tribes can be built is the help of the Dark Scorpion tribe. They select people suitable to be witches, and then select chiefs and some warriors to form a small tribe. Then let this small tribe start to annex other small tribes and start to slowly grow and develop. Not only that, there are also some that form a medium-sized tribe from the beginning. Because the Dark Scorpion tribe often burns, kills, and plunders other tribes, taking the lead after killing the witches and chiefs, all the remaining people will be his own. And these people will not stay in the Dark Scorpion tribe, but will all be arranged to go out and form a new tribe. Then these tribes will spread all over the world. The whole forest is everywhere. In addition to providing him with information, the most important thing is to slowly expand his power." "Yes," Lai responded immediately. "By the way, take a look to see if there is another tribe of ours near this Yanlong tribe. If there is, find out the origins of the Yanlong tribe and then kill this tribe," Shen Shao ordered seriously. You must know that cultivating a medium-sized tribe is not an easy task, not to mention that the Black Snake tribe is already very powerful, and many tribes are no match for him. Casting such a good net, also, it must be very unpleasant to have the chess pieces destroyed. Now he is eager to take revenge. I see, Lia responded immediately. I don't want to see the people of this tribe alive, so I'll kill them all. Shen Shao was completely irritated. Clear, Lia nodded. Third update, please support and customize. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 477. Chapter 477, Not Inhabited by Humans. For more, please customize. 3 hot air balloons floated in the clear sky, and began to slowly descend towards the open space of the Yanlong tribe. Originally, when I looked up, I could only see the hot air balloon, which was the size of a sesame seed. It gradually turned into the size of a watermelon, and I could slowly see clearly again. A few minutes later, 3 hot air balloons landed. Subai was the first to get off the hot air balloon, followed closely by Yan Hua and others. We're here, don't be nervous. Shalan said gently from behind. Flying back from the sea, the cat-eared girl was doing the adjustment work all the way, because the people on the other side of the river were very nervous. After all, it was their first time to go to other tribes, and no one wanted to go to other tribes. I don't know what will happen next. What's more, I still don't know whether this tribe is good or bad. Often the unknown is the scariest thing. So they often express anxiety or speak very anxiously, and the cat-eared girl can only he had been comforting them. Luza kept blinking her purple eyes and looking at the outskirts of the Yanlong tribe. She kept lowering her head and looking at her feet. Although it has been a while since she came to this side, she really came to the vicinity of a tribe. It still makes sense. In addition, she saw that this tribe is surrounded by wooden walls, and how come the soil in front has been turned out? And what are those strange wooden houses at the entrance of the tribe? What are these wooden houses for? Could it be that people are allowed to live outside? The people in that tribe must be so lowly that they all live outside. It's too unsafe. There must be many people in this tribe, otherwise they wouldn't even build wooden houses. It's outside, Lucy has been thinking like this. What are you thinking about? Come on in with us. Shalan waved her hand in front of the girl. Oh, well, what a strange tribe. Lucy came back to her senses and nodded. The purple-haired girl was confused and really full of curiosity about this tribe. Tap tap tap. Including Subai and others, a total of more than 200 people walked into the Yanlong tribe, avoiding the farmland during this period. What are these? Very strange. Lucy asked doubtfully. These are farmland, where we grow crops. Shalan explained with a smile. Farmland? Crop? Lucy's accent was very awkward when pronouncing these two unfamiliar words, and she continued to ask, what are these? You will know when you become a member of our tribe, and you will definitely be shocked. Shalan said softly. Lucy nodded thoughtfully, pointed to the wooden houses not far away, and couldn't help but ask, who lives in those wooden houses? Is it a place where very lowly people live? Will we live there in the future? Ha ha ha. After hearing this, Shalan laughed, covered her mouth and said, no, those are not for people to live in. Lucy widened her purple eyes and said in shock, what? This is not for people to live in? Then what is this for? The purple-haired girl didn't understand that such a big wooden house was not for people to live in. I originally thought that these wooden houses were for people with relatively humble status, but now they turned out to be inhabited by no one. For wild beasts, these are all for wild beasts to live in. Shalan said, pointing to the row of wooden houses outside. What? Are these all for wild animals? This is simply crazy, right? Lucy's whole body is feeling bad. It doesn't matter if it's not for humans, but now it's really crazy to have to live in it for wild animals. These wooden houses were built for no reason. They were originally used to live in wild animals. Do the people in this tribe have nothing to do? No, these beasts are raised by us, so they need a place to live. Shalan explained. Why raise beasts? Besides, wouldn't it be better to just leave it outside? Why go out of your way to waste time building this? Luza still didn't understand very much and continued on our side, it's never like this. We just leave them outside and just pull them over when needed. Although I don't know what it's like over there, our tribe is like this, and it was the witch's idea, Shalan said. Luzi originally had a good impression of Subai, but she felt very uncomfortable after hearing this. She looked at Subai's back as if she were a fool, and even wondered if she was making the right decision. Did he bring the tribesmen into the pit of fire? Why do you witches do this? It's so strange. Luza kept shaking her head in denial. We do this to raise these wild beasts so that we can eat them directly without having to hunt them all the time. Shalan explained patiently. Originally, she didn't want to explain so much, but seeing that the other party's misunderstanding of witches was too deep, she couldn't bear it if she didn't explain. The cat-eared lady didn't want anyone to be prejudiced against witches. He is the best witch in the world. Raise these beasts? Why spend more food to feed these beasts? Wouldn't it be better to just go hunting outside? Luzi is really confused. What to do during the rainy season? What should we do when the heavy snow and ice arrives? How to go hunting, 3 tortures of Shalan's soul. What is the rainy season? What is snow and ice? What are these? Luza didn't understand even more. She looked at the cat-eared girl like she was a fool, not knowing what the other party was talking about. Don't you have a rainy season there? No big snow or ice? Shalan wondered if she heard it wrong first. There are still people who don't know about the rainy season and heavy ice and snow? No, I don't know what these are. Luza said without hesitation. In the rainy season, it rains all the time, and in the heavy snow and ice, it keeps snowing for a long time, and there are white flowers everywhere. Shalan explained. Raining continuously? That would be great. I hope it keeps raining. Luza looked happy and continued, as for snow, I don't know what it is. Doesn't it rain where you are? Hasn't it snowed before? Shalan asked. It rains, but not frequently at all, sometimes not once or twice a month or two. Luza shook her head and said. Is your place so good? If only our generation were the same, Shalan said with an envious tone. The cat-eared lady really doesn't like the rain. She also doesn't like it snowing all the time. Not only is it inconvenient, but it's also very cold and there's not much to eat. Is it good? I don't like this, but I like you like this. Luza looked disgusted with the weather there. But it's really strange that you have such nice weather there. Shalan is still shocked. You are the best. Luza shook her head and said. 4th update, please support and customize. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 478. Chapter 478, Twin Mountain Beasts. One more request for customization. Subai and others stepped into the tribe, followed by Luzi and others. Their amazement didn't stop at the wooden house outside the door and the turned soil. They were even more surprised after entering the tribe. Looking around, houses are being built everywhere. There are not many wooden houses left. All of them are 2-story stone houses. What are these things? Luza was simply amazed. This was completely different from what she had in mind. She couldn't have had anything like this when she was in the tribe before. They were all tattered tents. Those tents seemed to collapse at any time, and those tents were not always. Everyone has it. Yes, it's really shocking. Shaya was so shocked. He was also from the Shanxiang tribe. He was 17 years old and 1.75 meters tall. His short black curly hair was very conspicuous. His purple eyes stared straight at the Yanlong tribe. The environment, the baby's fat face still looks childish. These are all stone houses, used for living, Shalan explained. Subai stopped for a moment, looked at the cat-eared lady and ordered, Alan, I'll go back to deal with some things first. You can take them to get familiar with the tribe first. Okay, Wu, leave it to me. Shalan replied with a smile. Tap tap tap. Shalan looked at Subai's leaving figure, turned around and looked at those people, and ordered, next, I will take you to get familiar with the tribe. Be sure to follow me closely and don't wander around. The cat-eared lady was worried that they were still in the tribe. We didn't stay too long. If we wandered around, not only would we get lost, but we would also be talked about by the people in the tribe. Why are so many houses being built all of a sudden? Luza said doubtfully. That's because the big snow and ice is coming soon, so many stone houses have to be built. Shalan explained. I still don't understand what the big ice and snow is, and why do we start building houses as soon as the big ice and snow arrives? Luza was very confused. Once the heavy ice and snow arrives, it will become very cold, and there will be snowflakes everywhere, making it impossible to even walk, let alone go hunting. These stone houses are designed to withstand the heavy ice and snow. Shalan explained. According to what you said, this big ice and snow is quite worth looking forward to. Luza said thoughtfully. After all, the purple-haired girl has never experienced heavy ice and snow. Snowflakes are everywhere, or it is difficult to move. This is the first time I have heard of it. However, it shouldn't be a problem for the tribe to survive the heavy snow and ice this year. There is plenty of food, and these stone houses will definitely not be very cold. Shalan said. Do you have enough hides here? What should I do if it gets very cold? I don't have any extra animal skins. Should I give them to the witch? Luza said kindly. When they lived in the forest, they often hunted, so they often collected animal skins. And the animal skins they are wearing now are peeled off from the wild beasts they hunted. But judging from the tattered appearance, it can be said that it has been worn for a long time. Since you have extra animal skins, why not get a new one? Shalan asked curiously. The cat-eared girl saw that the animal skins they were wearing were really torn, with holes everywhere. Because we always keep it for night use, but it's not cold here at night, so we don't use it, but we think we will use it one day, so we keep it as a backup, Lucy explained. Why does it get cold here at night? It's never cold here at night, only when there's heavy snow and ice. Shalan fiddled with her blue hair. It's really strange. It gets very cold at night where we live, so we all need to cover ourselves with animal skins or wear many animal skins to sleep, Lucy asked doubtfully. The desert area is like this. The sun is scorching during the day, but the temperature will drop sharply at night. That may be because the weather in the two places is different, as if you don't know about our heavy snow and ice. Shalan guessed. Luza nodded thoughtfully, looked at the cement road on her feet, and asked, are these also made of stone? Strictly speaking not, but it can be said to be similar. Shalan thought for a while and said. The cat-eared girl doesn't have to explain too much to the girls now. After all, the other party has not completely become a member of the Yanlong tribe, so there are some things that are better left unsaid. But why do this? I think dirt is pretty good. Luza said doubtfully. Because in this way during the rainy season, the soil will not be very muddy, and it will be very convenient to walk, Shalan explained. What is mud? But it is very convenient to walk without stones, Luza said. This is completely different. You will know when you stay in our tribe until the rainy season, and this road is also built to make the carriage go more smoothly. Shalan continued to explain. Carriage? What is a carriage again? It can be said that Lucy heard a lot of new words today. It is something pulled by horses. Wu said it is a means of transportation, Something that allows us to run long distances without walking. Shalan explained everything in detail. Something pulled by a horse? What is a horse? What is the means of transportation? Isn't the thing that allows us to travel very far without walking the twin mountain beasts? Luza can be said to have 100,000 reasons. Originally she wanted to take a good look at this tribe, but she didn't expect to get so much knowledge. Moreover, she had never heard of this knowledge before. In her cognition this knowledge is very strange. I'll take you to experience it later. As for the twin mountain beast you're talking about, I don't know. Shalan shrugged his shoulders. The twin mountain beast is a unique beast over there, and we all ride on them, Lucy explained. It seems that the difference between our two places is really big. We can have a good chat in the future, Shalan said with a smile. She had heard the girl talk a lot about her side of things, and she was already a little curious. She wanted to know what the environment they lived in before was like. Okay, I'd also like to know what it's like here. It's really very different, Lucy nodded. She was very curious about where these yellow-skinned people lived, and wanted to know what happened to make their skin colors different. But she probably already knew, maybe it was the living environment here. Completely different from where she was. Not only that, but everything here was something she had never seen before. Please update for support and customization. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 479. Chapter 479, I won't leave. 2 more, please customize. We will have a lot of opportunities in the future, but the most important thing now is to get you familiar with the tribe. Shalan said softly. Okay, please take us to see that carriage first. I'm really curious about that thing, Luza said. She was most confused when she heard about the carriage. She didn't understand anything like a horse-drawn thing or a means of transportation. If we want to take a carriage, we need to go to the starting point, Shalan said. The carriage point of the Yanlong tribe is set up near the river. From now on, that will be the gate of the tribe, so the starting point must be nearby. If a port is built in the future, anyone entering the tribe people will ride horse-drawn carriages there. Now for the convenience of management, they are arranged there uniformly, but the number is not large, there are only 4 in total. Because it is still in the stage of vigorous development, few people have time to ride horse-drawn carriages. So the quantity is not that big for the time being. What's more, if you want to take a ride now, you have to do more work every day. After all, there is no currency or anything like that, and there is no way to charge them. Therefore, if you want to ride a carriage, you must pay labor force. This is the long-standing rule of the Yanlong tribe. Whether it is food, use, or clothing, it is the same. If you work, you will gain something. Gaining something without working is impossible here. Good, Luza nodded. Tap tap tap. Everyone walked towards the starting point of the carriage, their hearts filled with anticipation, wanting to know what this thing was. More than 20 minutes later, everyone arrived at the starting point of the carriage. It was relatively simple and a small simple shed was built there. It's just a few sticks with a few boards and hay laid on top, much like a stable on the other side of the earth. At this moment, 4 carriages were parked under the wooden shed, with 4 grooms sitting on them. These 4 grooms have been specially trained and can already control these carriages very well. Are those carriages? It looks so strange. This is the first time Lucy has seen this kind of thing. Those strange wooden frames are built like small houses, and there is a beast pulling them in front, and the beast has a horn that is particularly strange. This kind of beast she had never seen one, and she had never seen a carriage pulling this little house. Once you get on it, you will know that this carriage is very fun, Shalan said with a smile. Cat-eared girl has tried to ride in this carriage before, and she liked it very much as soon as she got on it. Although the running speed is not very fast, it is very stable, and it feels like watching the tribe retreating along the road. It's also very good. In addition, the interior of the carriage is also very well decorated. The simple windows are hung with 2 pieces of animal skins, and the chairs on which they sit are also covered with animal skins. When the carriage was just made, the cat-eared girl and the horned girls often come to ride in the carriage. Of course they don't have to work hard to sit, they can just go up and do the work. Could it be dangerous, and would these beasts be obedient? Luza said worriedly. Because these horses don't look like good beasts. Their sharp eyes and the horns on their foreheads look like they are not easy to mess with. They have been tamed by witches, and now they have become extremely docile and will not hurt us. Shalan said firmly. Luza nodded thoughtfully and followed the cat-eared girls into the carriage. 6 people got on the carriage. Are you seated? Miss Shalan, I'm getting ready to go, the coachman said politely. Ever since the cat-eared girl became Sudbai's witch, everyone in the tribe has respected her very much. Everyone will say hello to her when they see her, and even invite her to their home for dinner and so on. Well, let's go. Shalan nodded. Luza glanced around the carriage, her face full of curiosity. This was her first time trying. Click. Click. The carriage began to run slowly, and the original slow walk turned into a fast forward. Luza's body was slightly shaken, her purple eyes widened as she felt all this, and she exclaimed, "It's amazing." The purple-haired girl's face was full of surprise, and she couldn't help but hold the wooden boards on both sides with her hands, the expression on her face a lot of changes. Although she often rode wild beasts in the tribe before, the feeling was completely different from this one. This feeling is the same as staying in a wooden house, and the most surprising thing about this wooden house is that it can run on its own. This is the most surprising thing. Don't worry too much, it will be okay, the roads are all smooth. Shalan said gently. She was like this at the beginning, but after sitting for a long time, she got used to it. She found that although the 2 carriages were running fast, they were very smooth. Luza nodded lightly and calmed down. She got emotional and stuck her head out of the window next to her to look at everything outside. She kept blinking her purple eyes and murmured to herself, "It's really magical. It turns out that this is where you live." The purple-haired girl saw that the people of the Yanlong tribe were all smiling. Everyone was busy with their own things, but most of them were building houses. Some were paving roads, and some were even rising. With the curling smoke, this scene looked very lifelike. Luza suddenly sighed, and the expression on her face was obviously that she began to miss her tribe. She pursed her lips and murmured to herself, "No, I know how my mother and the others are doing, and how the tribe is doing." Shat. Lan reached over and touched the purple-haired girl's shoulder, comforting her. "The witch will be able to find a solution." The cat-eared girl heard her sigh and guessed that the other party must be thinking about her tribe at this time. Luza put her head back and asked, "Can the witch do anything? Can you let us go back? My guess is that witches are so smart, and many of the novel things in the tribe are witches' ideas. The hot air balloon, this carriage, and the current carriage are also the same." Shat. Lan retracted his hand and continued, "Anyway, witches are very smart. Maybe they can find a way. If Wu really has a way, I just need to go back and take a look. I won't leave here." Luza said seriously. She is not an ungrateful person. After all, she has been taken in and decided to stay here, which means that she is a member of this tribe. If she still wants to go back, she must not. Okay, so she just hopes to go back and take a look. Witches will not force you. Witches are very good people, Shalan suddenly realized. Yeah, I get it." Luza calmed down her mood, and then continued to look out the window. Second update, please support and customize. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 480. Chapter 480, Unable to use my skills. 3 more, please customize. Night fell quietly, and the Yanlong tribe fell into darkness again, and the little bits of fire were immediately lit up. Since the heavy snow and ice is coming soon, it gets dark very quickly. It gets dark around 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. After Subai finished his dinner, he asked Long to come, ready to arrange some things for him. He held the wooden cup and asked, "By the way, I heard that you are very good at making wooden rafts, right?" Long was stunned. After hearing this, he stood up straight, nodded and replied, "Yes, which? I used to make wooden rafts in the Haiu tribe." After he came to the Yanlong tribe, he was impressed by everything here, and he completely fell in love with it. "When I first arrived here in the morning, I kept wandering around in surprise, as curious as a curious baby. When you see this, you have to ask why, when you see that, you have to ask why, and you are interested in everything." They kept praising this place in their mouths, thinking that this place was a paradise on earth, much better than the sea fish tribe where they lived before. It was precisely because of this that he finally understood why Coco wanted to be a member of the Yanlong tribe. Not for anything else, because he was already moved and fell in love with this place completely. Not only because of the environment here, but also because of the food here. After one bite, I fell in love again. "Like it here?" Subai asked suddenly. After drinking the water, he put down the wooden cup. "Of course I do, it's so nice here, I love it." Long nodded without hesitation. "Just like it, and treat this place as your own tribe from now on," Subai said lightly. "Thank you, Wu. I will work hard and will never eat food from the tribe in vain," Long said immediately. After all, he is also a person from the primitive era, and he also knows the saying that only by working can you have food, so he will naturally work hard. "That's good, there's something you need to do," Subai said seriously. "Please give me the instructions. The main thing is that I can do it, and I will definitely do it seriously." Long stood very straight and continued to ask, "Does the witch want me to build a raft?" "No, it is something more meaningful than building rafts," Subai smiled and said. "Something more meaningful than building rafts? Wu, what is that?" Long was a little curious. Although he is 30 years old, he is still very passionate now, not to mention having been a slave in the sea insect tribe for such a long time. Now after being rescued, he has come to such a good place. Tribe, of course he was excited to have his own job to do. What's more, now that he heard that it was something more meaningful than building rafts, he became even more interested. "Shipbuilding," Subai said every word, with an extremely serious expression on his face. He originally wanted to hand over the design drawing he drew to Gumyu, but before he could teach him, he met Long. And he heard that he was building a wooden raft. Although the raft is not the same as the boat, it is generally something that floats on the water. So I thought about showing him the drawing that I had been drawing for a long time, and maybe he could figure something out. It saves Gomu a lot of work. Now Gomu has to build too many things for the tribe. Things as small as wooden bowls, wooden chopsticks and wooden cups, and as large as tables, chairs, furniture, etc. Just a lot of things to do. Shipbuilding? Wu, what is a ship? This is the first time Long heard this new vocabulary. It is a thing that floats on the water like a raft, but this thing can carry more people and is larger, Subai said seriously. He asked Fox-eared Girl to bring over the drawings that he had been drawing for a long time, and then handed them over to the other party. There is such a thing. Long took the drawing with a confused look and began to browse it. This is what I drew, about the overall structure and principles of the ship, etc. Subai said roughly. What was drawn on the drawing was a big ship. It was just a 30-meter long ship. It had masts, sails, cabins, planks, etc. The overall style was just like that of Earth China. Like the ships in ancient China, they were large and had a lot of space for carrying people. When Long saw the drawings, his eyes widened, and the shock on his face could not be greater. He subconsciously covered his mouth. This drawing was really shocking to him. It was too big. He couldn't take his eyes off the patterns on it, and he simply didn't want to take his eyes away from it. The paintings on the Buddha paper were like treasures, which attracted him deeply and made him completely fascinated by them. How about it? Can it be made? Subai was speechless when he saw the other party. Long's hands were trembling visibly. He held the drawing tremblingly and said in shock, "Which is this thing called a boat?" How about it? Is there any way to make it? Subai's thick black eyebrows raised slightly. "I'll give it a try. This thing is amazing. It would be a miracle if it could be made," Long said in shock. "No, this ship must be built for me. It is very important to the tribe, and it is also related to whether I can take back your tribe," Subai said seriously. "Yes, I will definitely work hard. Although it looks very complicated, I will study it carefully," Long said immediately. His blood was already boiling, and he wished he could go back and study it immediately. He became even more excited when he heard that this thing could take back his tribe. "Study slowly and ask for whatever you need. I will definitely let someone satisfy you, as long as it can be created," Subai said seriously. He was already satisfied when he saw Long's expression. It's good to know that the other party is willing to try. As long as you have this intention and spend some time studying, building the ship is not a big problem. "Yes, Wu, I need a bigger place, otherwise I can't start the experiment," Long smiled awkwardly. He knew that it was bad for him to suddenly make this request, but there was nothing he could do about it. Who told him to just ask what he needed? "That's no problem. I'll have someone arrange a place just for you. The space will definitely be large," Subai nodded. He planned to build a dock by the river, and then let Long start building ships there. "Thank you, Wu, I will definitely take it seriously." Long is already so excited that he can't stand it anymore. "I will have 3 meals delivered to you every day." "There will be enough food," Subai said lightly. As long as the other party can build a boat, he is willing to let people bring him more food no matter how much food he has. "Wu, just give me some meat to eat, it's okay," Long smiled. He really couldn't believe that he was like this, and he felt happy all of a sudden. Third update, please support and customize.